In the olden days, people had strange beliefs. They even believed that the world was flat. In Ireland, people believed that the fairies originated from the Tuatha De Danann. Now, the Tuatha De Danann were one of the first tribes in Ireland, and they were very, very magical. And they went into battle and they were defeated, but they would not leave Ireland. So people believed that they were the original fairies of Ireland. The first little guy we're going to look at is the Far Jarrock. Now, he's very like the Leprechaun, but he's dressed all in red, and he is a very mischievous little guy. He loves to play pranks on people. And if the person takes the prank very well and doesn't get annoyed, they will have good luck. Did you ever wonder why babies always wore dresses in the olden days? Well, people believed that the Far Jarrock might change their male babies for a fairy baby, and this was called a changeling. So what they did was they dressed all of their babies, the boys and the girls, in dresses. This funny looking guy here is called the Groguk. The Groguk emigrated to Ireland all the way from Scotland. Now, he looks like an old man and he's covered in red hair all over his body. He can't feel any heat or cold, even very, very warm heat or very, very cold weather. He was a very friendly guy, and if he really liked someone, he'd stay with them and he'd do all of their jobs and chores. This picture here looks like a horse, but it was known as the Puka. Now, the Puka could change shape into any animal, but it always had golden eyes. The Puka could actually talk like a human, and he had powers. He was able to play tricks like stopping hens from laying eggs. And sometimes, if someone was very unkind to him, he might put them up on his back and then throw them into the ditch. Now, you all have heard of the Leprechaun. He was a shoemaker, but he did drink an awful lot of poaching, so he was drunk an awful lot of the time. It was believed that he had to guard the ancient treasure in little pots. The Leprechaun always carried 2 leather pouches. In one pouch, he had a gold coin in it. And if he got into any trouble, he would use the coin to pay the person off. But the coin would turn to dust as soon as the Leprechaun got away. In the second pouch, he carried a silver shilling. Now, a shilling is money that they used to use in the olden days. And every time he used the shilling or he spent it, a new one would magically appear. This is a picture of a merrow. Now, she was like a mermaid. In the picture, she doesn't look very nice. She's quite ugly, but she was actually supposed to be very, very beautiful. The merrows came from Tir na Hun, the land of the waves. They had webbed feet and they wore a red feathered cap. They wore a cloak that was made of seal skin, and the hat and the cloak helped them to swim underwater. Sometimes the merrow went on land and they married a human and had children, but they always heard the call of the sea and they returned home to the ocean. The Hawthorn Tree is known as the fairy tree in Ireland. It's thought to be a meeting place for fairies if they're going to plan a battle against other fairies in different parts of Ireland. In 1999, there were plans for a motorway to be built, and just outside Newmarket and Fergus, there was a hawthorn tree there, and the fairy tree was in the path of where the motorway was due to be built. Many people asked for the tree not to be knocked down, so they actually built the motorway around the tree. You might see that fairy bush if you're going into Limerick. It's near Dromoland Inn, just before the roundabouts, and it's on the right-hand side of the road. So the next time you're going into Limerick, have a little look for that fairy tree.